Not that I'm saying you don't have it together. I'm sure you do. You're a genius, and you really are. You're a genius.
I know.
GREAF is a producer who is part of the popular underground music collective TeamSESH. As one of the early members, GREAF is most known for the many collaborations with Bones, including their collaborative projects Surrender Dorothy and Oregon Trail. GREAF also has multiple side projects including Griefer, Macintosh Robinson, and Frenchford Adams. They have produced hundreds of songs including classics such as Lil Peep's Veins and Corbin or Spooky Blacks Without You. The mysterious aura surrounding GREAF makes him a unique member of the music industry, as fans are only able to speculate who GREAF might be. The general public doesn't know anything about GREAF's background. No name, no face, and little information. Later in the video, we will discuss a few theories as to who GREAF is thought to be. But first, let's dive into the timeline of GREAF's impressive music career. There are speculations that GREAF began producing as early as 2006, but online records indicate that GREAF's early work first appeared in 2010 under the name Bobby Music. This alias followed the same production style to the GREAF we know and love, and included collaborations with artists such as Lil B the Bass God. Producing for Lil B gave Bobby Music a notable amount of exposure in the early days, yet nobody could have predicted what was to come next. Bobby Music's first solo project titled Kill Bobby was released on May 1st of 2011. This would mark the start of the transition period from Bobby Music to GREAF, as the first project under the GREAF name appears to be the November 4th, 2011 release titled Small Grievances. The earliest recorded collaboration between GREAF and Bones is on his June 2013 album Creep, which features songs produced by GREAF such as Air and Uncle Jesse. It is likely that around this time GREAF officially joined TeamSESH, however there doesn't seem to be any record of when his initiation actually occurred. Fast forward a year later, in 2014, GREAF and TeamSESH began to take the underground scene by storm. That year, GREAF would release an unbelievable 60 solo albums including This Is Where It Gets You, which features the instrumental to Wicked Phases Not Like This. In addition, 3 Surrender Dorothy albums released that year, and more music was posted under the Macintosh Robinson alias.
It's pronounced alias.
You did it
Hamish.
twice, Hamish.
Alias.
You did it twice.
GREAF was releasing a substantial amount of music, growing at a rapid pace. For the past decade, GREAF has continued to post multiple projects a year. Most recently, GREAF's new album Wallflower was released on February 29th of 2024. There is a vast variety of theories regarding GREAF's identity, but before we move on, I'd like to make a point that these are just theories, and none of them have concrete evidence supporting them. Please do not harass GREAF or anyone affiliated with GREAF regarding their identity. Nobody should be taking extreme measures just to find out who somebody is. With that out of the way, I'm going to discuss 3 of the most common theories, including the first that GREAF is an old man. During GREAF's set of an April 2017 TeamSESH live show in Los Angeles, an old man took the stage, playing a variety of songs and energizing the crowd. While it could quite easily have been special effects makeup hiding his true identity, or someone simply filling the role acting as GREAF, this is one of the only times a face has been put to the name. However, most people do not believe this theory to be true, as online evidence suggests that this man is none other than actor Graham Mackey Sr. His IMDb page is publicly available, and you can clearly tell that this is the same man portraying the role of GREAF back in 2017. Next up we have the theory that GREAF is Eddy Baker. A 2019 Instagram live video hosted by the Griefer Instagram account appeared to be in control by longtime affiliate of TeamSESH Eddy Baker. As he was in a house full of people, many viewers were questioning whether Eddy was GREAF all along. A similar incident occurred in 2017, as Eddy Baker can be seen playing music in a studio, live streaming from GREAF's Instagram once again.
Y'all keep playing. Y'all know who GREAF is. Right here.
Under a Reddit thread discussing this theory, user Cprid states, GREAF's tape is called River City Wizard, and Louisville, Kentucky is the River City. Eddy has family that lives here in Louisville. It could very well be him. But the joke is that people continue to try finding out, and that's why they'll never reveal who it actually is. True or not, it is common for other artists or affiliates to make an appearance on Grief's social media claiming to be the person themselves.
Dudes, I'm the real Grief.
It is likely that the Eddy Baker theory is simply a social media takeover that was done in order to confuse the fans even more. The introduction of this documentary played an audio clip from Andy Kaufman's I Want Those Tapes. Used in many of Grief's songs, the clip expresses Andy's excitement to fake his death, as he believes that coming back to life will solidify his immortality.
Yeah, people say, that's him, that's him. And then when you really die, nobody will believe it.
This plan inevitably worked, as while Kaufman supposedly died from cancer in 1984, people to this day think he is still alive. The story of Andy Kaufman holds many similarities to that of Grief, and it can be best explained by Reddit user Wham Bam Turkey Ham, who states, Grief is believed to have died in the mid-late 2010s, possibly even earlier, according to Twitter posts on his accounts and Bones. The parallels to Andy Kaufman and the samples of Andy speaking about faking his own death are quite curious. However, Grief's situation is done the opposite way, making us ask, is Grief really alive? Similar to the way everyone also asked, is Andy really dead? The breadcrumbs are all there if you look and listen hard enough. While again this Reddit post is only speculation, the referenced tweet is still public today. I remember when people thought I was Grief, but no, that's my dead brother, Bones tweeted on September 13th of 2013. This theory is quite compelling, because unlike the others, there are pieces to the puzzle that connect. In the 2017 track, Turning Down the Saturation of the Sky, Bones quotes, "Same old number, brand new home. Just wish that I could call my little brother on the phone. Everything we done, I just wish that I could show him. I owe him forever better, I got a chance to know him." It is clear from these lyrics that Bones had a loved one sadly pass away. While it could be pure coincidence, what are the odds that this verse is connected to the tweet from 4 years ago? There are many more theories, but it is most likely that Grief is a human being who simply wants to remain anonymous. They have been able to share their art with the public for over a decade without revealing their identity, so it's more than likely we will never truly know who Grief is unless they choose to disclose further information. Nearly a year ago in June of 2023, Grief made a series of Instagram story posts that read as followed. "If you do things to bother me in hopes I'll talk to you, you aren't a fan. When I do something new, please don't follow me there. 10 plus years and it's getting old. Please find your own passion and purpose, it cannot be me. I love this shit and I love my real supporters. I wouldn't have dropped 60 tapes in a year if I didn't, but give me a break. I don't know why you're doing it, but it's not good, it's not healthy, it's not right. I'm talking to you through the music, but you're too concerned with making a game of me. Fans like you are the reason people like Banksy slow down. Respect the product." Some of you clearly missed the point of this experiment, and sadly, those are the ones who believe they're most attuned, and you're the reason why I don't enjoy this shit anymore. While we can assume that this is a direct message to the fans that have been harassing them, and while Grief still has love for music creation, they simply want to be left alone. So, while it is fun to speculate the mystery surrounding Grief's identity, we as fans do have to respect their wish for anonymity. Theorizing who Grief is in itself is harmless, yet there are lines to be drawn. What we can take away from this video is that the Grief project does have a deeper meaning. While we don't know anything about the person, clues within the music can help us better understand the existence of Grief itself. What can we as listeners take away from the songs? Yes, there is or was a person behind the project, yet we have to appreciate Grief for what it is, which is what we know it to be. Grief is simply Grief, an enigma that composes compelling yet simple songs that have impacted millions. Grief has been the most influential producer in my own musical endeavors, and their legacy has not only changed the underground, but music as a whole. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about some of your favorite underground musicians, be sure to check out the other videos on the channel. If you have a suggestion or topic for the next documentary, you can go ahead and let me know in the comments. And once again, thank you guys for your support, and I will see you next time.
Frankly, I'm not ready yet.